What is up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. The Kanto Cup is here and we are having some fun with Shadow Magneton. This is the second time I have rocked Shadow Magneton in the Kanto Cup, and we're gonna see how this thing performs. You might think this is a crazy spice pick, but honestly this thing is extremely effective if you can use it the right way. It is absolutely absurd with the damage it's able to output. And you will also notice, I'll say right away, in the team graphic, you'll see I have Discharge as the move for Magneton. I was running Zap Cannon for a while, which you'll see in these first several battles. And I just felt like there were more situations where Discharge was useful than Zap Cannon. It just takes so long to get to Zap Cannon, and there's very few situations where you're going to get there just because Magneton is so glassy. It has to be like the perfect situation pretty much to actually get to a Zap Cannon. So I felt like Discharge is better. So if you do run this team, I recommend using Discharge instead of Zap Cannon. So Lapras is actually able to get both shields there, which was surprising to me. And if you can save a shield for Magneton, it can oftentimes just put in absolute work. I take out the Licky with a Magnet Bomb. In comes the Nidoqueen. You notice I'm experiencing a little bit of lag. I'm getting a little bit of a pause, which you'll see again later on. The state of the game since that server maintenance hasn't been great. A lot of people have been having issues with it, and I know this is a game that we all have so much fun playing, but we really just hope that Niantic can find a way to improve the quality with these servers and make this a better a better playing experience for all of us, right? So hopefully they can get that done. I make a nice combo play. I Bone Club. And there's a freaking Alolan Raticate back that's just going to bite away and take out. But you notice I stored that Magnet Bomb. So all I have to do here is get this thing into Magnet Bomb range. Alolan Raticate's pretty tanky, though. You see how little these Bone Clubs do. Bone Club's a really bad move, but it's doing pretty much nothing. I have the move loaded, and I just have to hope this KOs. Come on, Magneton, does this KO from here? Bang, bang, boogie. Get out of here, you rat. You filthy animal. Like in Home Alone. No disrespect to Raticate. But nice win there in the first game. Going up against Cesare Senpai. Or maybe it's just Caesar. Terrific lead we had there against the A-Slash. I figured the opponent might want to take Switch. Like, he might think he needs Switch, so I figured he'd be more likely to shield there. And he did, in fact, shield, so it's good for us. I'm not going to shield the first one. Most people don't run Stone Edge, so I'm not too worried about the Stone Edge. He's going to get off another move here, unfortunately, before we get to a Surf. So this is going to chunk away at our Lapras. You could argue I should have done, like, another Ice Shard, because I don't want to give something like a huge farm when they come in. It is a Hypno, and Hypno only gets 2 confusions, so not the end of the world. If I had done one more Ice Shard, maybe the Hypno only would have gotten 1 confusion instead. I actually come in with the Whack here, because the confusions, believe it or not, are going to really chunk from a Shadow Hypno against Magneton, even though they're resisted. He didn't even build up. He didn't even build up to the Shadow Ball, so I knew I could just take an Elemental Punch there. I go for a Shadow Bone. He takes the Shadow Bone. Interesting plays from the opponent. And we're in a pretty dominant position here. I don't think he even built up to Bulldoze either, so I just don't shield the Ice Punch. I will shield this one, just because I don't want to take the Ice Punch and then confusion damage becomes an issue. So I just shield the Ice Punch, and my opponent knew it was game over. Magneton's going to outpace the Hypno, and that was a GG. On to the next one. Let's go. We're going against Garrick, like Jay Garrick from The Flash. Bad lead against the Pidgeot. Let's see if we can get out of this. We safe swap our Lapras, and they're not switching right away. They swap in their own Lapras, and at this point, I know switch advantage is everything. So I really need to try and take switch back here, because if I can get Magneton onto the Pidgeot, I should be in a much better situation. I'm thinking about whether I want to shield, because I was able to buff myself first. I am going to shield, because I want to make sure I solidify this secondary matchup here. Go straight for the bash. Opponent's going to have to shield this if they want to survive. And they do shield. I think it's probably the right play from them, because This Lapras is still super healthy. So I'm not gonna double shield. I don't want to go down a shield here. But I will just bash right away. Not playing any games. Don't want him to like chip me away with Surf and then put me into like an easy farm down range. In comes the Pidgeot, and Pidgeot's gonna have a fairly tough time farming us down after we've been vamped so many times. And we actually CMP tie here. This is perfect. We've gotten both shields, so our Marowak and our Magneton have gotten shields down. I come in Magneton here. In comes A/, and I wanted to Zap Cannon there. I wanted to Zap Cannon, and I probably should have for the content. So that's a misplay by Rise. Should have Zap Cannon the A/, but I ended up just making the right play and just swapping in my AWAC. And that's a GG's. That was a great opportunity for the Zap Cannon, though. But you see, like, we haven't had a situation where the Zap Cannon was necessary. Okay, AWAC versus Dugong. This is actually not a bad matchup for AWAC. Because you're going to resist the Ice Shard damage while dealing out neutral fire damage. And it takes Dugong 6 Ice Shards to get to Water Pulse, which is really the only threatening move. I tried to catch a potential Water Pulse, but they didn't throw right away. So it backfires a little bit because now they're going to be able to debuff me here. They Icy Wind me. But in comes a Hypno, and this isn't like that bad of a matchup for Lapras. So I'm just going to Skull Bash. That way I vamp my defense. Our boy Boygos just sent me a text. Go check out his Obstagoon and Open Master video. That sounds pretty lit. Surf coming through. I get a shield. I actually got a shield, and I aggressive swap here. I wanted to call a punch, but I just play it safe. It is a Thunder Punch. Going for a Shadow Bone here against Dugong. And we still have our Magneton in back, just waiting to be unleashed. And then check this out. I play this kind of weird. I play this... I wanted to be able to Zap Cannon something in back, so I actually let this Water Pulse go through. You see I have the move, and I'm just not throwing it. I want him to take me out, so I can Thunder Shock this thing down with my Magneton. Because I wanted to Zap Cannon something. I'm going to get a big Thunder Shock down here. I've got all this energy. What's in back? What's in back? Come on, come on. They're scared. It's a Nido. So unfortunately, we can't Zap Cannon, but this is fine. Even though it's a ground type, this access to Magnet Bomb, it does so much, man. Look at that. It did like 75%. And we're just going to Magnet Bomb again. And we've got this game all sealed up. Hypno does get to one more move, but we are going to just shield this up. And then I go for the Magnet Bomb. And we're going to take this guy out. Another win for Magneton. Having a ton of fun with the Magnet. And we're on to the next game. I do recommend this team. Oh, by the way, I saw so many Hypno leads. So I don't know if you guys are seeing the same, but so many Hypno leads. I should probably start running like Alolan Raticate leads because just so many Hypnos. They actually let the Shadow Bone go through, which is kind of questionable. And I know they're only going to get to one move here because they haven't doubled up. He aggressive swaps into AWAC. Because he didn't shield the Hypno, I feel like he's going to be more inclined to shield here. I do get a shield. I try to catch a move there. It doesn't work. I'm going to let this go through, and it's a Shadow Ball. That's going to hurt. A rare AWAC running Shadow Ball these days. Most of them run Shadow Bone. But Shadow Bone, we know, is a very hard-hitting move. Especially gets that stab bonus from a fellow Ghost type. I'm going to let this go, because I know they have to unleash a Shadow Ball to take me out. In comes AWAC. I overfarm a little bit, just by one Fire Spin. I throw a Bone Club here, and they shielded. They shielded the Bone Club. I was in shock. I went for my next Bone Club, and even if I shield this, now it's CMP, and that doesn't do me a whole lot of good. So I save a shield. In comes Nidoqueen. In comes Nidoqueen. They built up a little bit past the Earth Power, so I do respect it with a shield. It is a bait. So I think they're only like 4 away. And I Magnet Bomb right away because I didn't think the AWAC would get to this Bone Club. I really didn't. So a bit of a misplay from me. I think if I had farmed up the perfect amount, I could have been 1 Thunder Shock away, and I would have gotten to another Magnet Bomb before the AWAC got to the Bone Club. So a winnable game if I played perfectly. I made a mistake. I didn't farm enough. So a nice win by our opponent there. They outplayed us. And then we have the Marowak mirror match here. I did sneak in a Fire Spin there. I'm going to shield the Shadow Bone. Going for my own Shadow Bone. They sneak one in back, so now we're all even. I grab a shield. I don't sneak that time, so still even. I actually let it go because my Marowak has 0 attack, so I'm usually not going to win CMP. And because he got the stupid defense fell, he actually is able to farm us down, which is not ideal. Definitely going to save my shield here. Shadow Bone comes through, chips away. I wait for a split second to see if he was going to try and catch. And he does not, so I throw this. And this is like worst case scenario. A Shadow Machamp comes in. And he makes a mistake here. He catches the Surf on his Dragonair, which he probably was thinking, oh, I'm flexing on Rise. I'm going to send this to my friends. But no. He makes a grave mistake and gives us a win con. We're able to now outpace this Dragonair in terms of getting to 2 moves. So we're able to double up here on Magnet Bomb. And because Magneton has such a crazy high attack, we're going to win CMP against the Machamp and take the win. If the opponent had just shielded the Surf and countered down, he wins that game easy. So definitely a bit fortunate for us that our opponent, sometimes catching isn't the play. I've seen people like Rise, like I'm count moves, I know how to make catches, and yet I'm still not winning games. I'm not climbing elo. Sometimes catching isn't the play. Sometimes a catch like that actually costed the opponent the game when they thought they were making like the right play or a cool play. Sometimes you just play out matchups. You had a great matchup. Don't switch your Dragonair into a Lapras unnecessarily just to make a catch. But once again, another Hypno. Just seeing so many Hypnos. And they actually don't shield the Shadow Bone. In comes Achu. And I go for a Bone Club here because I feel like they almost have to shield. They have to respect the Shadow Bone. Oh, and you're going to see something here. So look at this. So look at this. I have the Shadow Bone, right? I have the Shadow Bone. Look how much health I have. And look at that. Did you see that? That's what we call the pause. It's not an over tap. There might be one person in the YouTube comments that'll try and annoy me and be like, Rise, you just over tapped. You were too slow to react. Like, look at this in the replay. Look, like I'm already tapping the Shadow Bone. Like that's a delayed CMP, so it doesn't give me CMP, which is normal. So that's fine. It doesn't give me CMP. But I'm spamming the move. I'm spamming the move. Look, I was spamming it instantly. And this is a 2-turn fast move Pokemon that comes in. A 2-turn fast move Pokemon that comes in. It's not the same as like Dragon Breath. If it was like a Dragonite and it was 1 Dragon Breath, that happens sometimes. Because like, it's like a move sneaking through. But that should not happen where a 2-turn fast move KOs me. before it even lets me register a charge move. So that's some really unfortunate lag that totally changes the complexion of this game. And now I've got to be creative. I've got 2 full Pokemon, but I'm behind on energy. I don't sneak in a move, so I know he's essentially 1 ahead of me to get to 2. So I catch the move here on Lapras. And this is kind of crazy, catching a super effective discharge on Lapras. But I actually snuck in an Ice Shard as well, which will allow me to get off this Surf. And that puts the Magneton extremely low, to the point where 1 Thunder Shock should take it out. And the Raichu Psychicked our Marowak, I believe. So there's no way you can stack a Psychic with another Psychic. Well, theoretically, you could have a Psychic and a Wild Charge, but that allows us to double up on Magnet Bombs. And yeah, despite the lag, we were able to find the win con. So that's something I recommend. Like, if you guys are experiencing lag, and if you feel like it's getting to you too much and affecting your concentration, because sometimes you'll lag and you'll lose a game because of it, and then like you just have this negative mindset where you're just like not playing well, and you're like, oh, like why even try if or play hard and concentrate if I'm gonna lag anyway. And then you end up making a ton of mistakes. So if you feel like you can like fight through the lag to still win, like try and do that. Don't just give up. But obviously, like if you feel like it's too frustrating for you, take a break and make sure you're maximizing. Like your apps, like having apps closed, like having a good internet connection if you can. I like to play on airplane mode. It usually helps, but the servers have been really bad lately, where pretty much GBL for me has been really laggy, but Sylph tournaments, at least for me, have been fine. And like trainer battles where I'm inviting a specific person to a battle. So in this game, we messed up in a lot of ways. They swapped Lickitung into our Marowak, and we don't have an obvious answer for Lickitung. But the much better play, instead of swapping in Magneton, is to swap in Lapras. And theoretically, right, Steel type versus normal type, Magneton resists the charge moves. You would think that's the better matchup, but you saw Body Slam plus the lick damage, and we didn't even get to 2 moves in order to spam him on. That's how glassy Magneton is. So I should have come in Lapras. I might lose to the Lickitung, but at least I can chip it. Our opponent lags a little here, but it's not really going to matter in the end. They've got this game pretty much sealed because we don't have any shields. They've got an energy head start with Hypno. But yeah, if I swap Lapras into Lickitung, it's a losing matchup for Lapras, but at least I can do a lot of chip damage, and then I can probably like farm with Marowak, like get a big farm with Marowak. Maybe I'm in a much better position. Another Hypno lead. They're everywhere, bro. This is like a record for the most lead of one Pokemon in a day of GBL. Okay. Shadow Bone coming through. They shield it. They built up past the Shadow Ball, so I'm going to respect it. I'm going to respect the Shadow Ball. And the first person to actually go for the Shadow Ball, I go for the Shadow Bone right away. Are they going to shield? They are not. And they actually didn't throw the punch, so a bit of a mistake by them. In comes Poliwrath, and this thing is scary for our team. Especially our back line, because those mud shots, man, those mud shots are so scary. They're going to get off a move here. Because I am running Discharge now on the Magneton, I swapped it. I feel like it's okay to come in here. And then look at this, man. Oh my gosh. Let's count the Thunder Shocks to counters. Okay. So I can't like really slow this down, but 1, 2, 3. So mud shots, it was fine. Okay, 1, we're even. 2, 3, 4. He got 2 counters there. He got 2 free counters. So sneak-ins happen. Sneak-ins happen. He got 2 counters. I don't know how that happens. I go for the Magnet Bomb, because Magnet Bomb does slightly more. I go for a Thunder Shock down here. And, like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know at this point. Because he was, like, 2 Thunder Shocks from KOing, it looked like. Maybe 3. 1. 2. Like, that should have been a simul KO. That should have been a simul KO, and I realized we were desynced. So he essentially got 3 counters there for free. He essentially got 3 counters for free, which allows him to farm my Magneton all the way down. I have to respect the close combat. And I shield a Night Slash, which sucks. And now the Poliwrath is going to be able to just double dynamic punch us, man. And that was just really unfortunate, because this is a situation where this was an easy win. This was a win. Where he takes us out, I come in mag, and there's this weird desync where he gets 2 free counters rather than 1 free counter. And then we desync again. And, like, I know I'm clicking the Lapras here, but why doesn't that work either? Why doesn't it let me switch into Lapras, do an Ice Shard, get a head start? But no, it does neither. It doesn't register a Thunder Shock or the swap into Lapras, and instead just gives him another free counter. So essentially like 3 free counters. You can say 1 is negligible because sometimes they sneak it anyway. But anyway, I'm harping too much on that game. Tough loss. I feel like I should have won that game if it wasn't for the lag, but it happens sometimes. And sorry for getting negative, but this last game is really nice. You're going to enjoy this one. AWAC versus B. Good lead, but they swap into Eradicate, and I'm like, oh crap. It took me a second to decide which one I wanted to swap into. I swap into Lapras. This is a neutral matchup. I'm not sure who wins this, but I would think Lapras, because it outpaces, does decent. Totally lost track of Eradicate's energy, so I just shield in case this is a Hyper Beam, which it probably isn't enough energy for. But Eradicate does have access to Hyper Beam. I overfarm quite a bit. I'm going to get off a Surf here. Switch advantage is important if I can get off. And at this point, you might be thinking, like, keep the Marowak on the B. But both my Magneton and Marowak do fine against the B because they resist the poison. And if I commit that shield with Lapras, I'm down shields. I'm potentially giving the B a big poison jab down, and then they just sweep me with shields down. They just double drill run. So I knew I couldn't really shield that. And now I'm going to commit a big Thunder Shock down with my Magneton. Take a lot of damage in the process, but that's all right. B comes in, I'm going to Magnet Bomb it. I throw this right here on CMP to force the last shield. And I do have to respect the drill run here. Would definitely one-shot like 2 Magnetons from full health. In comes Muck. And he knows I have that whack in back, so he wants to save some energy. I throw during the Snarl. I do a quick combo play. I Bone Club here. And the Muck gets to the move. Will our Magneton have enough health to take out the B? I get the Thunder Shock down. I'm 2 away. And I get there before the B gets to a move. I did make a mistake. I'm sure someone has already commented there. I should have gone for Magnet Bomb against the A-Muck. Magnet Bomb does slightly more damage than Discharge. So if I had done that, the Bone Club probably would have KO'd and it would have been less close. So a bit of a mistake there for me. Kanto Cup, I had a long day. Like I worked overtime at work, and then and then had like several Sylph matches, and then I streamed my GBL sets, and I felt like today I was just a little out of it. I made a lot of mistakes, but that's what happens sometimes. It can be a complex game. It's a lot more complex than just tapping, like some people think. There's a lot that goes into it, and we made some nice plays, we made some bad plays, and overall we had some fun. That's what matters with Shadow Magneton. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. I'd very much appreciate it. Comment anything you'd like down below. All comments help the YouTube algorithm. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.